In the late 1500s, Ireland was a patchwork of Gaelic kingdoms ruled by powerful families like the O'Neills in Ulster, the O'Donnells in Tyrconnell, and other prominent clans across the island. These lords had their own armies, laws, and traditions, fiercely independent from English rule. But England, led by Queen Elizabeth I, had long sought to bring Ireland fully under its control. Ulster, in the north, was the last bastion of Gaelic power, and the two most powerful leaders there were Hugh O'Neill, Earl of Tyrone, and Rory O'Donnell, Earl of Tyrconnell. They were key players in what would be one of the final struggles for Irish independence. The 9 Years' War, fought between 1594 and 1603, was the largest conflict between the Gaelic Irish lords and the English government. The war saw a series of battles where the Irish had early successes, but by the end of it, the Gaelic resistance was crushed. The Treaty of Mellifont in 1603 brought the war to an end, but not in the way the Irish earls had hoped. After their defeat, Hugh O'Neill and Rory O'Donnell, along with other Gaelic leaders, were forced to surrender to the English. The terms of the treaty allowed them to keep their lands, but the price was high. The Earls had to acknowledge King James I of England as their sovereign and abandon their traditional way of life. England didn't just stop at military victory. After the war, the English crown began a process called plantation, where they confiscated land from Irish lords and gave it to English and Scottish settlers. This process was especially brutal in Ulster, where entire Gaelic communities were displaced. O'Neill and O'Donnell found themselves hemmed in by English law and governance. The old Gaelic order was being systematically dismantled. Their traditional authority was undermined, and English officials were now interfering in every aspect of Irish life. These men, who had once ruled vast territories, now found themselves as mere figureheads, subject to foreign laws and an increasingly hostile English administration. By 1607, the frustration reached its peak. On the night of September 14th, Hugh O'Neill, Rory O'Donnell, and over 90 members of their families and followers secretly boarded a ship in Lough Swilly, Donegal. Their destination, Spain. This journey would be remembered as the Flight of the Earls. The Earls fled for several compelling reasons. Foremost among them was their hope to secure military and financial aid from Catholic powers, particularly Spain and the papacy, to mount a counter-offensive against English control. They firmly believed that true freedom for Ireland required external support to challenge English dominance. However, this hope proved to be misplaced. Spain, still recovering from its own costly defeat by England years earlier, was in no position to provide the aid the Earls desperately sought. There was also growing paranoia. English authorities suspected the Earls of plotting rebellion, and there were rumours of their impending arrest. Whether these rumours were true or not, the Earls decided it was safer to leave before they were caught. The flight of the Earls wasn't just a physical departure, it marked the symbolic end of Gaelic Ireland. With the Earls gone, the English crown declared their lands forfeit and initiated the Plantation of Ulster on a massive scale. This brought in thousands of Protestant English and Scottish settlers, forever changing the religious and cultural makeup of the region. The Plantation of Ulster was one of the most significant events in Irish history. It created a Protestant ruling class in what was a predominantly Catholic region. These tensions between the two communities would simmer for centuries, culminating in the Troubles of the 20th century. As for the Earls themselves, their hopes for Spanish or papal support never materialized. O'Neill, O'Donnell, and their followers lived the rest of their lives in exile, moving between various European courts, but never setting foot in Ireland again. Today, the flight of the Earls is remembered as a turning point in Irish history. It marked the end of the old Gaelic order, the loss of Ireland's traditional nobility, and the beginning of a long period of English dominance over the island. The departure of the Earls paved the way for a new political and cultural landscape in Ireland, one marked by centuries of conflict, division, and eventually the struggle for independence.